Are we at the bottom of the market? I don't know. Let's take a look at the facts and figure it out. What's up everyone, it's Nick Vazquez and we are back with another Greater Toronto Area real estate market update video where, like always, we're gonna look at the stats for the GTA as a whole and then later in the video break it down and look at the numbers for Mississauga specifically. If you find this information valuable or helpful to you at all, if I'm answering any of your questions, please do me a huge favor and show me some love by hitting that thumbs up button. It does motivate me to keep putting out videos on the channel, so would seriously appreciate it if you did that. Also, just double check to make sure you are subscribed. I'm always trying to bring value. And if you don't want to miss out on any of that, just make sure that you are subscribed. Let's jump straight in with total residential transactions. There were 5,627 transactions reported in August, which is down 34% compared to last year. This represents a lower annual rate of decline compared to the previous few months. So basically all that means is that the decline in sales activity that we saw in August was less than we saw in the last few months. And if we compare it to last month on a seasonally adjusted basis, we're actually up by 11.1%. So all that really is to say is that August was actually a pretty busy month in the world of real estate. It was busier than July and more busy than the past few months have been. It does look like people are starting to re-enter the market. Maybe they're more comfortable with the higher interest rates and they're starting to purchase again. This is starting to lead into some interesting things that we're seeing. But first we'll talk about the total new listing. New listings in August remain relatively the same compared to last year. We're down a measly 0.7%, so not really worth even talking about. But one thing I did want to mention about new listings is because the sales activity didn't decrease as much as it has been in the past few months, meaning it's a little bit higher than last month especially, but new listings remain flat. That means that the sales activity ate up a greater share of the new listings on the market. Basically, all that means is that the sales activity is eating up the supply of homes that are on the market. And because supply of homes is remaining relatively flat, but sales activity, if it continues on this trend, will start going up, that can lead to some problems with the average selling price, which we're gonna talk about now. The average selling price for the GTA as a whole is now $1,079,000. That number is up about 1% compared to last year, and on a seasonally adjusted basis compared to last month, it's up 2.1%. So the average selling price actually went up in August relative to July. Now there may be a few different reasons for this, but the facts are telling us that August was a more busy month than July, and the average purchase price is higher in August than it was in July. And like I just mentioned, with the sales activity eating up more of the listing supply, this trend could continue where prices start to inch back up again. So talking about the market as a whole, the GTA real estate market has already dropped about 24% from the peak that we saw in February. I'm sure you may have seen this article that's been floating around saying that prices are going to drop 25% by early 2023. Terrible article, by the way, but it pretty much already has. So we've dropped about 25%, but sales activity is starting to increase and new listings are remaining relatively flat. And now we're starting to see that the average selling price is going up. At least it did in August relative to July. So this question needs to be asked. Are we at the bottom of the market right now? Honestly, it's really hard to say. As we move into the fall, we'll definitely have a much better picture of what to expect going forward for the remainder of the year. But as of right now, it's really hard to tell you exactly what's happening. Generally, the fall is a much busier time than the summer. And if the activity starts picking up more than what we saw in August, but new listings remain relatively flat, that could be a problem where we start to see the average selling price start going back on its upward trend. With that being said, earlier this week, the Bank of Canada announced another 0.75% interest rate, and that's definitely going to have its impact on the market. It's simply just getting more and more harder for the average person to afford a home just because the interest rates are making that monthly payment go up by a lot. For those of you who are saying, I just want to wait for prices to come down more before I buy, I'm telling you right now, these rate hikes are hurting you. Take a look at this. So in February of 2022, if you were to buy a $1 million home with a 1.8% interest rate, your monthly payment would be $2,885 per month. Now, if you were to go buy that same home in September of 2022, we're going to use a reduction of 24% in the market, which is $240,000 off of that $1 million. So purchase price is now $760, but interest rates have gone up about 3%. So now your interest rate is 4.8%, leaving you with a mortgage payment of $3,173 per month. That's a difference of $300 per month in your mortgage payment. You're paying $300 more per month now than if you bought in the peak at February. Unfortunately, this trend is probably going to continue. The longer you wait to buy, the more expensive it is going to be to buy a home. Waiting is certainly not in your favor if you are on a tight budget, and the Bank of Canada has already said that they're likely going to be raising rates more into 2023. And for those who are currently on a variable rate mortgage, basically all that means is that your mortgage payments are gonna go up. It's roughly about $40 for every 100K you have in debt. So let's say you have $500,000 left on your mortgage, your monthly payment's gonna go up by about $200 per month. As of right now, it's still probably better to stay with a variable rate, but if you are concerned, I would recommend just talking to your lender. I can refer you to someone as well if you need help in that category. All of this is just to say, do I think that we're at the bottom of the market? Not necessarily. It will be very telling to see what happens this fall, and I'll have a better picture and I can kind of tell you what I think is kind of happening with the market once I see what happens with the fall activity, because I am expecting it to be a little bit crazier, but this interest rate hike might hurt things a little bit. So we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, let's get right into the numbers for Mississauga. In August, there were 487 sales in Mississauga, and the average price of a home is $1,077,000. That number is 11.9% higher than last year and 0.78% higher than last month. The average price for a detached home is $1.5 million, about 70K less than last month. A semi-detached will cost you $990K, which is about 7K more than last month. The average price for a townhome is $1,065,000. It's about $60,000 more than last month. A condo townhome will cost you $821K, which is about $25,000 more than last month. And finally, a condo apartment averages in at around $612,000, which is about a $15K drop from last month. Anyways, that's all we got for today. I do hope you found this information valuable and informative. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you think we're at the bottom of the market? Do you think there's still a long way to go down? Let me know what you think. Would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any questions or you need anything at all, I am a realtor in the GTA. If you need help buying or selling a house, if you want to get a service provider, you want to do some renos, you want to get the value of your home, anything at all, please feel free to reach out to me. Always love to chat real estate and always love to help people. And like always, if you did like the video, please just hit that thumbs up button. It takes you a second, but it really helps me out. And also just double check to make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss any of the new content that I put out. I'm always trying to provide value, so make sure you are subscribed. Until next time, enjoy yourself, have a great week, and we'll see you on the next one.